Alright guys, we are back. My favorite time of the day, market update time. So let's get straight into it. How do we look? We look beautiful as always. Chart looks clear. Yeah, that is good. Alright, let's go. So yeah, we can see our pre-planning for Euro USD yesterday. Expectational order flow was pretty spot on. Yeah, we've so far front ran this technical target, the range high, and yeah, I wasn't on the charts at the time and was not able to enter. But let's see what POIs we tapped into. Okay, obviously we've ran through this demand. We can see pretty clearly that can go. This can go. I don't need this anymore. That was our break of structure. So had you have entered here and your stops under here, you would have been stopped out. Hence the extended model, technically extended model 1. So yeah, very low time, well, not very, but you can see a low time frame model 1, which ended up being a higher time frame model 1. Still maintaining a pretty nice return to zone. We swept those Asia lows. And yeah, you can see we broke structure. We started reversing at some point throughout New York. So yeah, no real POIs here. You can see there's nothing here. All we've done is literally just sweep this low. That is all. Yeah, we literally just swept this low. Front run it here, creating that liquidity, and then we swept it. Where could you have entered? Obviously here on the on the 15-minute. Yeah, you could have entered here on the 15-minute. Or if you wanted a more refined entry, because yeah, this isn't going to give you much from a RR perspective. You would have to put your stop on the air. You might barely scrape not even a 1 point, just a 1.5. If you were to get a more refined entry, that's valid. Obviously, we SFP'd it first, but then we had a decent follow through on the few candles after. Why did I say bearish there? Anything even more refined? There probably would be something more refined here. Yeah, right here. Bang. Maybe even on the 1 minute down there. Otherwise, it's just that two minute. Yeah, inside bar candle, so not valid market structure. So this is our break. We'll be going off this 2-minute market structure break in there. And I don't think that was a valid 3. No. Okay, so you would enter here. Stop below. Not bad. 3.34. I don't understand why the chart keeps taking me to the left all the time. But yeah, so this, had you have entered, you would be in here. And price is definitely allowed to come into this demand POI. That's a valid OBIF. It's valid market structure though. You've got 2 consecutive candles, minimum of 2 consecutive candles down, you've got a minimum of 2 bullish consecutive candles up. So I will even get this 4-hour OBIF in here. That's obviously been mitigated. So that pretty much, this is my most accurate retracement I would like to see price come into. But even like if you were to enter this, it's a bit sketchy entering it because it has come up so high. Like it essentially front ran our range high. So entering on this retrace is already pretty sketchy. The only reason I'm monitoring this is just for data. I just want to see how price reacts off this. But other than that, I'm not really looking for longs at the moment on this pair right now. All right, let's go from the top and start with gold. So far we have a nice mitigation into our supply zone here. We have ran through this range. And so far we're respecting supply. Is this distributive price behavior? Not at the moment. Maybe from here, if anything. Oh, you know, we'll chart it and we'll see if it meets any requirements. Not really. It's not a 30-minute. Low, high. All right, 15-minute range. We've just exceeded this range deviation here, but we've come straight back in with a beautiful wick. So, and you can see the wick is manipulation as we had to mitigate this supply. So far, yeah, it's a valid range. It's very low time frame though, like 6.5 hours in. Not nice to look at, to be fair. Mitigated. This has not. Has or has not? Has been mitigated. So This has all of the reasons to so the entry could be in here for a it's not a bad 2.67 risk to reward scalp. The only thing I don't like, let's have a look. What do I not like about this setup? We have also swept extreme liquidity, so we've also swept Asia high. You know what? The setup's not bad. It's just low time. It's just very low time frame. Asia high. And we have technically accumulated here, but we've completed the accumulation. It's not the worst. I'd say this can be a 0.5% scalp. What I will do is, you guys might see a live entry here from me. Can price pull back into anything? We've swept this, we've mitigated this. I am going to try and enter on a slight pullback here. And this actually gives us a bit more of a risk to reward given price comes back. We're not really in any sort of... Yeah, honestly, I'm happy with this. For a 0.5% scalp, I think I will take this. On this 2-minute market structure break. We might not, I think I'll take this, but we might not even get a, I'm not going to enter down here. You're already looking at a 1 risk to reward. The stock can be at that 198 number. Yeah, that's fine. 197.65 is valid. $0.295 lot size. I will set an alert up here. All right, we've set our alerts, and we'll simply see what happens. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about this, is the fact that we did have this accumulation in here, this very local accumulation, which was very valid, but then it completed itself. So yeah, and then we got Asia high really nice, and then Asia low really nice over here. Like this is a perfect opportunity. If anyone did catch this, well done. Or isn't it well done? You might even have the opportunity to add more should it retrace, but it may not retrace. I feel like the second it sweeps this, it could just flush down. But yeah, I will leave that there. We'll have a look at silver. Silver has ran through this supply. Absolutely ran through it. Plenty more supply above us, which price can grab. From a model perspective, not really interested in anything here. Like there's probably some form of demand in here. Yeah, we do have valid structure demand in here. And we might get a or we can look to get some form of distribution form in here. Something like that. You know, this was a terrible drawing. I'm just gonna. Ideally, I would look for something like this. And potentially come back in here. So we'll see what happens there. Just don't like these drawings, but you get the picture. I would like to see some form of distribution model happen here and move back down to mitigate this demand. All right, Euro USD, we talked about that. Very nice, and price might be coming back down to this. The only reason as to why I would enter in here is if we get an accumulation, a very local accumulation. Otherwise, no, I will not be entering off a break of structure of this retest. It is just way too risky. Way too risky. Although there is a nice there's a nice buy side liquidity curve here. Very nice. Alright, next. Well. Didn't enter this, but we can see we really got the expectational order flow spot on here. Like, so, and same thing, guys, in and during New York. So we would have been fast asleep here. Very nice if anyone caught this, like A++. Let's see where we could have entered. So on the 3 minute here, no valid market structure, so you would have just not even this is a valid high. This is our high. So on the 3 minute, you will not be entering until we break structure here. But you would think that there would have had to be a much more refined area to enter in here. Two. All right, on the 2 minute, technically speaking, this would have been your market structure high, or 2 minutes, so this would have been a valid entry. So this would probably be one of those instances where you have to take a loss to take a W. Yeah, this would have been a correct entry. So yeah, you would have seen price front run this demand, come back up, create this nice market structure. Some equal highs as well. Mitigate this, and perfect reaction. Break, you'd comfortably enter here. You put your stops below here. And then you would have been stopped out. Given this would have been your next market structure high. You would technically enter off there, and this would have been your test. So if you enter here and you hold, you don't bitch it, nothing to worry about, because the price would just come in for a test shakeout, if you want to call it that, and then move up. But there might have been a more refined area on the 1 minute, just so you'd be a little less stressed. Yeah, and I think there was, or maybe there wasn't. No. So that would have been your correct entry. So you would have had to enter there, and that would have given you a. Let's say you don't enter on the slight pullback, and you just enter. That would have given you a 2.18R after losing however much you risked on your first entry. So yeah, you're still making something at the end of the day. So yeah, this played out to perfection. Obviously, the market would have just stopped you on your first attempt, so you would have just had to try again, given all conditions still allowed you to, which they did allow you to. And now, what can we see is price forming some sort of distribution model. It's always risky taking these type of trades where a accumulation turns into a distribution. Very risky. But this has a nice liquidity curve to it. What I also like about this is that we've mitigated this supply. And price can run. Look at all those targets. But we're in a higher time frame distribution, which has not been completed, so there is reason for price to come back up. Hence why I would not be interested to take this. Same reason I'll be charting it, just to collect some data and see how price moves, but otherwise, yeah. And like, it could flush down and complete the return back down to range low, but it's just not of interest given this was already a completed accumulation, where that would have been your tap 3. Like, we have broken structure and we've broken structure nicely, but I just don't think it's a safe entry. Probably not. All right, AUD. This one more. Like, everything here tells you that this could have been a good entry. You even had this little distribution model complete itself on a very local time frame on the 3 minute. Let's check on our boy gold. We might get a re-entry here. We haven't swept this low. We have come pretty deep. We'll continue to monitor price there. All right, AUD, USD. What are we saying? We've mitigated supply on the 4 hour, and we are in very high range premium, as you can see. Like, yeah, this is a valid. It's a valid range pull, but it's a shit range pull. And what I'm referring to is this uptrend on the hourly. We've obviously swept that. I'll keep it there, but it's a sheer range pull. We've taken previous day Asia highs. Oh, sorry, no, not previous day. We've taken Monday's Asia highs. Yeah, it's just not nice. Not interested. Plenty of demand as well. Just hovering around our POC as well. Yeah, nothing much to see here. Just set alerts and wait. USD CAD. Looks like we are moving up to this third tab. Obviously, it's a lower time frame model 1 distribution because we've got our tab 1, tab 2, which is deviated tab 1, and then tab 3, which is deviated tab 2. But they're just too close to each other, so we would like to see a refined tab 3. Most likely forming a model 2 around this area here. On like anywhere in here would be nice. But let's see what POIs we have here. This counts as extreme liquidity. Technically, you can have this for a safer pick, which is what I will have. Oops. Yeah, if price sweeps this and breaks structure down, I am not interested, so I will not have it as a alert. But I'll have this one as an alert. So we'll see what happens here. All right, next. So we're moving through these pretty quick. This is very invalidated. As invalidated as you can get. Well, our alert has gone off on this triangle. Our alert has gone off on this rectangle, as can be seen here, right as we're looking at it as well. Yeah, nothing here to really do except for just wait, see if price starts forming some form of distribution in this area. Check back on gold. Yeah, nothing more can be done or said about GBP, JPY. Even if, no, I don't like this. Tap 2 and 3 is just too separated from compared to tap 1 and 2. Be like here. You know what? Pretty similar actually. They're actually quite similar. I stand corrected. Yeah, you probably could have entered here. Yeah, what I do like is that this came up to form what would have been a Model 2, but then we actually swept this. If we only swept this high and we were like hovering around here, very, very sketchy, would not have been interested, but because we fully swept this and even swept this high, this could look like, and most likely is, a confirmed Model 1 distribution. What I will look for here is simply a nice reaction of this OBIF on the 3-hour range, a 3-hour time frame, if you want to call it. Alright, yeah. Would like to see a nice reaction forming off this 3-hour OBIF. And I will even type this in just so it's easier to remember. All right. $30-minute break instruction, nice. You obviously SFP'd it first, but you completed it around there. Was there something a little more local? Right here on the 5-minute with a test as well. This is valid on the 10-minute. Valid on the, not valid on 15, valid on the 10. 10-minute break structure there. Very nice with a lovely, lovely test. Like, look at that. Respecting your third tap. That is textbook. And the break structure is below our tap 2. So high confluence here. For a lovely 4.8, 4.08. But yeah, we'll see if we can get some form of reaction there. This gold one, man. Where was I when it broke structure? It would have been like right before the stream, yeah. Yeah, man. 750. Yeah, it literally. I gotta stop saying literally, guys. It's not a nice word, you know. It doesn't sound nice. Yeah, it would have been as we had started the recording break structure. But we might get a. We're forming a lovely liquidity curve here. If I enter here, I just don't like this risk to reward. I like the 3 risk to reward. And it's on this breakup structure as well. So I will monitor for potential entries on this pullback. Because we can see prices leaving behind beautiful, beautiful liquidity. Well, so we might get an entry here. I will grab my phone just in case. Right, I have set a limit. Can you guys see? No. I've set a limit sell at 5189.76, which is essentially here. 5189.76. 2.96. 2.99, there you go. 2.99, just because we're leaving behind such a lovely, lovely sell side liquidity trail. Yeah, now we'll wait and see what happens. Or the other way to attack this. Or you could, yeah, so it would either be enter here on this pullback and you have your, because there's no real, the reason as to why you wouldn't really move this stop loss down is because price has all the reason to keep coming up. So as a matter of fact, what I will do is delete my obviously, guys, I am still new to this. Like, this is my valid. Right. Sell limit deleted. I will only enter off here. And this is my pre-planned entry on this. If price front runs it and goes down, then so be it. Mitigation, stop loss here, and boom, 5 risk to reward. Reason being is as we've already mitigated this supply, and now we've created this supply. After price, if price mitigates this and then breaks structure to the downside, and happens to break structure bullish again, back up somewhere here, the second price passes this again, it can rotate all the way out because it's already mitigated this whole area. So there's no further reason for price to, there's no reason for price to come into like here and then move down. It's already mitigated it. Yeah, that's been mitigated. You can see that. And that's just not valid. So yeah, that is my play on this. I want to see price enter, mitigate this supply zone, and then break structure. And we haven't swept the Asia lows, and we've already swept the Asia highs, as I've said. So yeah, we'll see what price does. As I said, it could front run it. It could front run it right now. and just dump, and that's it. Uh, the trade setup's not there, not valid anymore. So yeah, I'm not going to trade a feeling. I'm going to wait for an actual validation and confirmation. Otherwise, no setup, no trade. All right, we'll let this. That means I can get rid of this. And we'll calculate my lot size. $0.462. All right. All right, see what happens. Euro NZD. Trade completed again, guys. I need to catch some of these. I'm just charting them up for you guys. Expectational order flow is spot on, but I'm just not taking it myself. I'm probably asleep when it happens. Let's have a look on what. Yeah, New York. Bang. We would have broken structure in here. 1:30 a.m. my time. Man, get me to the States, boys. Get me to the States and girls. Gentlemen and gentle women. I don't think that's an appropriate term, but yeah. We've swept all extreme liquidity. Bang, broken structure. Technical target would have been here, complete. Textbook. Textbook, boys and girls. Man, look at all these beautiful lows I marked out. Take it. The whole lot. Like, it's good to see, even though I'm not in the setup, it's good to see that I'm getting it right. I'm correctly predicting the market. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm not really interested in anything else around here. All I would like to see is price coming here. And accumulating here, and then go back up. Our alerts are set. Nothing more to be done. We'll probably sweep this at some point as well. All right. There's another really nice looking liquidity trail. This is terrible. It's not nice, like, So a nice trading environment, this one. Maybe that could be valid, to be fair. I just don't like how, I think I said this yesterday as well. I don't like how it spends so much time up here. Like if this was your range starting point, and you obviously have your deviation. Yeah, like not only does the borderline exceed it, but look how much time you spent up here. Like, here we go. Moment of truth. Well, now we're going to have to monitor this. As of now, whether we like it or not, this is our market structure low. We don't break this, we don't enter. It's that simple. And that would give us a 2 risk to reward. But in my optimal scenario, I would like to see 2 consecutive bearish candles, 2 consecutive bullish candles to really create that market structure pull, and then flush down and enter on the break with a very tight stop loss. That's my ideal scenario, but we'll wait and see. Where was it? Where were we? Euro NZD. Yeah, so in here, this is our supply. We will it's been mitigated. We won't look out for this one anymore. I will check back gold pretty soon. After like 2-3 minutes, just to see what those candles are. But yeah, there's not much here. There really is not much here. Maybe some form of demand, supply, sorry, in here. Not valid. Yeah, there's no real nice POI here. I'm just gonna let price move around a bit more. Let's check gold before we check USDJPY. Okay, we've got our 3 consecutive bearish closing candles, which is what we want. And now, what I would like to see is a break back up, followed by a break back down. This is our market structure high. Obviously this is mitigated. This isn't, so we do have demand here. Yeah, so if we do take it short, if we do end up taking it, you have to take your TP at range low or even just before, just because of this massive demand area below. But we're slowly making our way up here. And we'll wait for a bit more price movement. USD JPY. Haven't hit this, but we have front ran. Valid range here. Asia lows at the bottom. AUD CAD. This looks good, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, in terms of USD JPY, that's all I'm after. AUD CAD. This is well, like I can already tell just from looking at this, this is well within our deviation limit. And look at that, it's aggressively coming back in. That is completely fine. And we've got a nice return to zone, guys. Asia lows here, Asia highs swept. This could be textbook. Entries, let's look for entries. Entry would have been there, unfortunately, but very nice topping formation as well. Very nice. I would like to see price. If price can mitigate this, this will be a potential entry. Template, is this not work? Yeah, like, let's see what we've broken structure on, maybe the 30. Yeah. Yeah, 30 minute break of structure. Very clean. Very, very clean. I stand corrected. Probably 15 because that is an inside bar. Yeah. That is bullish. That's bullish. No inside bar, yeah, 15 minute. Very nice. Still clean. Still very clean. And yeah, we'll see if we can get some sort of entry on this retest here. Let's check our boy gold. That's all I'm waiting for here. Nothing else interests me. All these can go. Price can go higher. Everything here invalidated. Nothing. I'm not interested in anything here until we've swept this high and deviated our range high for the first time, creating our tap 2. So still, I just want to watch this range. Not interested in any accumulations, not interested in any distributions. That's it for now. Yeah, all right. I will have to get going real quick. I'm still going to monitor this, but I'm going to end the recording now. I might start up later if we're getting some nice actions and I can enter this trade live with you guys. But right now, yeah, I've got a duck, I've got a bounce. I will be back. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.